We're going to be continuing solving one-step equation. This time around, this equation in here is a multiplication. 7 times c equals 21. So what do we want to do? If you look between the 7 and the c, there's a multiplication that's invisible. So we're going to isolate our variable. And we don't want the 7 in there. The 7 wants to become 1, right? And the 7 is multiplying the c. So how do we make the 7 to equal to 1? Well, there's only one way, and that is by dividing it. Now, what do we do on one side of the equal sign? We'll make sure we do on the other side of the equal sign, right? Now, let's see. Let's see what's going to happen. Why do we want it to be 1? Well, 7 divided by 7 is 1, right? And what we're left with? We have that 1c, right? That's what we wanted. And 21 divided by 7 is equal to 3. Now, do we have to write that 1? No, we do not, right? Because even if it's not there, if the number 1 is not in front of the c, you still can see that it is just the one letter c, right? One variable c is equal to 3. Now let's make sure that our answer is correct. We're going to rewrite the original equation. It says 7 times c, or 7c, equals 21. And we said that c is equal to 3. So everywhere I see c, I will substitute in the number 3. We have 7 times 3, which was 7 times c, right, equals 21. And if we multiply 7 and 3, we indeed will get 21. And guess what? 21 and 21 on the other side. Our equation is in balance, right? Both sides do indeed equal to each other. Next problem. 2/3 times the x equals 4. Let's isolate our variable. Let's isolate our x. Well, the 2/3 that's multiplying the x wants to be with the number 4. Well, the opposite of 2/3 times is divide, right? Because it wants to be 1. So let's divide both sides of the equal sign by 2/3. What's going to happen? If you remember rules of division, if I do 2/3 divided by 2/3, what do? We really don't divide, right? You remember keep, change, flip? So what we do is we will keep the first fraction, which is 2/3. We replace the division with a multiplication, and then we go straight across and multiply. 2 times 3 is 6. 3 times 2 is 6. And a fraction is a division, so 6 divided by 6 equals 1. So 2/3 divided by 2/3 indeed equals 1, right? Which will leave me with 1x. And on the other side of the equal sign, right, make sure you drop the equal sign, is 4 times 3/2. Now the problem is number 4 wants to be a fraction, because if we multiply fractions, both of these terms have to be a fraction. So we'll put 4 over 1. 4 divided by 1 is 4. We're not changing the value, so we can do that. So let's go straight across, right, when we multiply. So we're going to multiply 4 times 3, which equals 12. And then we're going to multiply 1 times 2, which equals 2. Now, fraction is a division. What are we going to do? Well, we still have our x, and 12 divided by 2 is 6. And that's our answer. X equals 6. Now, what do we want to make sure? That we are correct. Let's do a little check. Let's rewrite the original equation, which says 2/3 times x equals 4. We said x equals 6, right? So everywhere I see x, I will replace it. I will substitute in the number 6. We are left with then 2/3 times the number 6. And let's make sure that indeed does equal 4 because both sides of the equal sign are supposed to be equal, right? So let's make sure the 6 is a fraction. That means let's put the 6 over 1 because we're not changing the value. 6 divided by 1 is still a 6. Now let's go straight across and let's see what we've got. 2 times 6 is 12. 3 times 1 is 3 equals 4. Fraction is a division, and 12 divided by 3 is 4. And on the other side, we still have a 4. So both of these are in balance, right? So our solution checked, and we are correct. The next example has y over 4. Remember, fraction is a division, so y divided by 4 equals 2. Let's isolate our y. Let's isolate our variable. Now, we want the 4 to be gone. We want just one y, right? Well, if there's y divided by 4, we're going to have to multiply by 4. What we do on one side of the equal sign, we'll do on the other side of the equal sign. Both sides will get multiplied by 4. Now that 4 is 4 over 1 times y over 4 equals 2 times 4, which equals 8, right? Now, what do we do? The 4 can cancel out with the other 4, right? 4 divided by 4 is 1, correct? So we're left with the 1y, which equals 8. Now, let's make sure that we are correct and let's do our little check. Let's rewrite the original equation and we will substitute in the y that equals 8, right? Everywhere I see y, I will put in 8. The original equation says y divided by 4, or y over 4, equals 2. So let's replace the y with the 8. Let's substitute in and let's solve it. So we really have 8 over 4, or 8 divided by 4, equals 2. And what is 8 divided by 4? Well, ladies and gentlemen, 8 divided by 4 is 2, which does equal 2. Both sides of the equations are the same, so it equals, and we are done.